Hi, this is Jaya. In this video, we shall see the summary of The Painter of Signs, a story by R.K. Narayan. Raman is a sign painter. He takes the art of calligraphy very seriously and he devotedly creates the perfect signboard for all his customers. And making use of the best rosewood from the Mempi Mountains, Raman always believes that his signboards are a notch above his rival JAYA'S. Raman is living with his aunt, who is a conservative old woman, and she likes to ramble about mythological stories and old family gossip, and they live in Element Street. Raman grows through periods of frustration at his aunt's interest in his going abouts and feelings of guilt for ignoring her affection and presence. Raman is not orthodox himself, and he neither sports a tuft like others from his caste, nor has inhibitions in eating meat if necessary. He looks down on superstitions and old fashioned notions of religion and caste and spends his time reading ancient copies of books on science and history. And he also has a tendency to quote from the scriptures and make associations with events in the scriptures and those in his life. Daisy, an intense young woman involved in family planning campaigns, hires Raman to make a signboard for her office. Raman finds himself bewitched by her beauty and more so by her precision, authority, and a devotion to her career. He has to accompany Daisy on a 3-week campaign in the villages around Malgudi to identify potential sites where he can paint signs and messages on population control. And Raman finds himself further attracted to her firmness, simplicity, and a tendency to shun luxuries and comforts. He finds that his resolve to remain unmarried is weakening. Daisy has a complicated past, and she also eventually admits of a mutual attraction for Raman. The two start spending the nights together and decide to get a Gandharva marriage, the simplest form of marital union. Daisy seems to be unaffected by the relationship though, and tells Raman that she will not change her last name or housekeep for him. Raman mulls over the eventualities of such a wedlock, but is steadfast in his affection and love for Daisy and constantly tells himself that her needs and wishes will be more important than his will and his needs. And his aunt is upset over her nephew's unorthodox afflictions, especially at his decision to marry out of caste, and therefore asks him to arrange a one-way trip to Benares for her. That is, she'll only go to Benares but she'll never come back. And Raman's repeated beseechings to her to stay and bless him and Daisy have no effect because she has decided to go and spend the rest of her life in Benares. On the morning that day, Daisy used to move into Raman's house on Element Street. She changes her mind about Raman, feeling that a sense of purpose and her independent existence may be affected by married life. She decides to leave Malgudi for a 3-year family planning initiative in villages all over India. Raman tries his best to convince her, telling her that his house on Element Street will be open for her whenever she decides to return, and here ends the story. If you have anything more to add on to what I've said, please write it in the comment box, like the video, share it with your friends, and if you have not subscribed my channel, please subscribe and support. Thank you.